When you think of France, what comes to mind? The Eiffel Tower, croissants, maybe high fashion? But what if I told you there's a darker, more complex chapter in its history, one that's often overlooked in the West? Let's talk about the First Indochina War, a brutal conflict that set the stage for one of the 20th century's most infamous wars. After World War II, while the world was rebuilding, France was determined to reclaim its colonial empire. In Southeast Asia, this meant reasserting control over Indochina, which included Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. But there was a problem. During the war, a powerful nationalist movement had emerged in Vietnam, led by a charismatic figure named Ho Chi Minh and his Viet Minh forces. They had declared Vietnam's independence in 1945 and were not about to hand their country back to a colonial power. What followed was nearly a decade of brutal, grinding warfare. The French, with their modern military and financial backing from the United States, expected a quick victory. They underestimated the Viet Minh's determination, their mastery of guerrilla tactics, and their deep connection to the land and the people. The fighting took place in dense jungles, muddy rice paddies, and rugged mountains. It was a war of ambush, booby traps, and relentless hit-and-run attacks. For the Vietnamese people, it was a total war for national liberation. For the French soldiers, many of whom were veterans of World War II, it was a confusing and demoralizing fight far from home. The conflict drained France's treasury and cost tens of thousands of French lives. The Vietnamese toll was far higher, with hundreds of thousands of soldiers and civilians perishing in the struggle for independence. The war reached its dramatic climax in 1954 at a place called Dien Bien Phu. The French established a massive, heavily fortified base deep in enemy territory, hoping to lure the Viet Minh into a decisive conventional battle. It was a catastrophic miscalculation. The Viet Minh, led by General Vo Nguyen Giap, performed a logistical miracle. They hauled heavy artillery through mountains and jungles by hand, surrounded the French fortress, and unleashed a relentless siege. After 56 days of intense fighting, the French garrison surrendered. The defeat at Dien Bien Phu was a stunning blow to French morale and prestige. It shattered their will to continue the war and forced them to the negotiating table in Geneva. The resulting Geneva Accords officially ended French colonial rule, but, controversially, divided Vietnam into a communist North and a non-communist South. This division laid the groundwork for the even more devastating Vietnam War, drawing the United States directly into the conflict. The First Indochina War is a stark reminder of the human cost of colonialism and the fierce power of a people fighting for their freedom. It's a crucial piece of history that helps us understand the world we live in today. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, consider subscribing for more deep dives into history.